You want to explain the equipment first?
We can do that.
That way the hive's not wide open.
Okay, we have got some things here.
Time out. Wait for the friggin' airplane to
Start
go.
over.
Thanks, airplane.
Let's do this. Okay, the planes are gone. All right, so we're going to give you a couple methods of removing honey. One of them is using a triangle bee escape like that. This is the side that goes down. The bees will go through the hole, come out, and they can't get back in. Now, the key thing if you use this is your cover is on the, your inner cover's up here, you gotta cover that hole so the bees can't fly back in the top. So this will work really good. It's a good tool to have. The other one is this kind of board, and Jim's gonna show you by sticking the little bee escape in there. It fits with your inner cover. You move your inner cover down below your supers, and so the supers are on top, the bees all escape. They could come back in and out of the upper entrance here, but it's to the 2 brood boxes. So this goes on top of your brood box. Pretty soon, within 4 or 5 days, your honey supers are empty. Pick them up and carry them home. If you're always in a hurry to get bees out of them, you can use what we call Bee Go. Smells. And what you do is you spray it. There's a little nozzle that goes with it. And all I do with mine is I just spray like this. And then I usually cross it. That's good. You usually set it on the hive for about 5 to 10 minutes and get the bees running. And once they start running, they'll go. This is only good to use between 70 and 85 degrees. You use it when it's hot, the bees get drugged and just sit on the frames, okay?
Keep in mind any of these types of ways to get the bees out of your hive. If there's brood up there, you're going to have a few bees in there. You're going to have some nurse bees that are sticking around. Hopefully you don't. So I'm going to set this inner cover, I'm going to set this cover right here, and then I'm going to start setting the supers on here, and then we'll set the deeps on the cover, and we're good to go, okay? All right, let's go.
All right, who's got smoker?
It's been smoked.
Over here, front entrance.
Done already.
Okay.
Way ahead.
We're ready to go. We're going to take the inner cover off, take the 3 supers off. Then we're going to get down here and go in there and do our mite check. And we lost a little weight last week. Again,
5 pounds.
This week, 5 pounds.
No, 5 pounds over 2 weeks.
Look
We
at
didn't
here.
work
We have
the
a brood
hives.
frame
Well,
right
that's
here.
true. That's over 2 weeks. We didn't work them last
Okay.
week.
So we have one brood frame right here in our honey super. Not a lot of bees up in the honey supers. This super here is partial. Okay. I don't see if these are pulled out. Okay. We're going to keep going down.
That's not very many.
We got a real strong back in Jim. Let's see what this is. Is that good weight?
Fair.
Okay.
This isn't real, a lot of bees,
Uh-oh.
guys.
Of course, they're spread out into 6 boxes.
Okay, we're gonna go in here and see if we can find some open brood. Jim's gonna do a test. So, look at that. The second frame in has got brood on it. That's nice. But now we gotta find some larvae if we want to do a really
Let
good
you guys
mite
do
check.
that while I get this ready.
Okay,
Make sure the
I'll take
queen's
a look
not
at
on
it.
there.
No eggs, no nothing. Maybe hardly any eggs, everything's hatching out. So
Oh, look how young those bees are.
Yeah, a lot of young bees in it.
Good.
I'm telling you, watching what you're seeing with the bees, they're acting like we're going to have an early winter. I don't see.
There's a whole bunch of larvae.
Is
This
there
will
larvae?
work. This
This
will
will work. What's
Yeah.
the other side look like for a queen? I don't see her.
See her here.
No, let's look on the other side.
A larva right there.
Okay. We're looking for some larvae to do a mite check, because mites are going to be hanging around where the larva is maturing. The key here is you got 4 people looking very intently at this frame to see if the queen is on it, and then we'll check the tub again. So Jim's ready to go. This is an acceptable frame for him to do his test. So he's going to shake the bees off into the tub, put the frame back in. You're good to go. She has a yellow dot. Okay. He's going to grab his. You notice the bees that are flying are mostly field bees that'll be flying out of the tub. Now, when you dump them in here, they want to fly, period. But now he'll do his little shaky. And so the shaking.
Oh, that's fresh brood, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
fresh.
I don't see the queen on it though. The next one over is pretty hatched out if there was brood on it. So what Jim is slowly, if you'll notice, he's swishing the alcohol wash up onto the bees to wash off any mites that are on the bees so we can get an accurate count.
Lots of pollen.
So, given that we saw that frame of larva or cap brood upstairs, our little queen might have run. We don't see any sign of her other than that one frame that Jim pulled out. Let's get a count on our mites here real quick, see what we got.
Two mites.
That's what I saw, 2. So 2 mites out of a batch of 300. So think about that. That's less than 1 mite per 100, which this hive is really under control for mites, really good. But to say today we're going to show you how to treat with Apivar on this hive, just so you'll know. But it's really kind of interesting that this hive is doing that well with mites. And Ted's taking a look at the number 2 box, or the 3rd box there, to see if he's got anything going on up there with the queen where we got brood there. No, to move downstairs, because we got 1 frame here we need to move out of here.
Mostly honey, Ted.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna see
Some
it
have
in
that.
that box. Makes me feel good. I only got 2 mites in the neighborhood.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, that is all eggs.
Oh, it's eggs?
Eggs. All
Do we want to move it down?
Has a lot of honey. Let's see what else we got available. Well, I don't see the queen, but we definitely got eggs and pollen and honey and cat brood.
So do you want to replace this frame right here too?
This is all eggs.
I mean, this is empty.
I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, you did. We pulled that out. It's nothing. It's not even
This is all
completely
eggs,
drawn
Ted.
out.
Okay.
Put it in. We're going to move brood down. That's our goal, is to keep our brood in the bottom box this time of year.
Yeah.
So if it's
To the outside.
Yeah, the number 2.
yeah. The problem you have when you start going up above to bring brood down is you run into a problem with quite a bit of honey maybe being on the frame.
Well, this is
So that's what they're looking. They're searching for a frame without a lot of honey but a lot of eggs on it.
about this side. It's solid.
Still on this one, it's hatching
I
out.
would
see what,
rather,
see what we
what's
got up
in
here. Okay.
Hey, Jim, let's push this over and put this frame back in there. It's got brood on it. Okay.
Now we're going to put Apivar on.
Yes.
You got the 2 strips there? Okay, we're going to put Apivar on this hive. Even though it doesn't require treatment right now, we're going to show you how to do it. So we're going to lay them on here like this. You got to realize that because this hive is sitting in an area with a lot of beehives around it, it's thinking that you can get a mite bomb from another hive is not unheard of. Now we're going to look up here in this box and see if we can get a fully drawn frame to put in the second box.
Brood on this side.
Boy, that looks good.
That'll be better in the bottom.
So show it where Larry can film it.
That's a brood.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's got lots of honey on it too, so it'll be a good one to put in the number 2 box. Okay, now we're going to put our second set of strips on this hive right here. And so, but one of the things we've been doing all season has been keeping our top bars and everything all cleaned up. Well, it pays for you right now when it's this time of year and you're wanting to pull your honey off. You want to be looking pretty good for that. Okay, now Ted's taking a quick look in the third box, which is got a lot of honey in it. We're going to go ahead and put it back on this hive because those frames are going to be used for us to for a honey bank. We'll steal frames out of it and put them on here. Okay. All right.
You want to put Apivar on this too?
I did. Not on this one. Okay. So now we're going to take our honey out. And one of the other treatments is formate, which is in a pad like this. It's 2 pads. They go like this on the frames in the top, deep. But it's too hot to use right now, so we'll want to use it when the temperatures are much lower, like below 85 degrees. Okay, who's got the bee brush? Here it is. you go get it?
I'll get it.
No, I get it.
Get one?
Gotta watch for the queen though.
Is there even honey in those, Jim?
Not much. A little bit.
A couple of pounds in each.
Like this.
That one's got brood on it.
Just got to stay on there, fruit on them. So it's good for you to have extra boxes, and we're making this simpler by having a few extra boxes to easily maneuver our frames around. You can see they're pretty gentle to do this. You could do it the way we did it here and take these off, but you want to be very careful if you use a fume board. They kind of go crazy with that. You don't want to be digging into your second box for that unless you've done it ahead of time. Okay.
One's got brood, whole bunch of brood on it.
Put it in there.
Don't even shake. Just put it in.
Yeah.
Put it in.
I was just looking for the
We got a little brood in our honey super, so I kind of just set that aside and put it in here, and it's all capped, so it's going to hatch out real good. And this time of year they probably won't fill it up with honey, it'll just be empty. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Oh, let me
Other
see.
side.
Oh,
That's
one
gorgeous.
little straggle out. Man, those are nice looking frames.
Yeah, they are.
Get a rhythm going here.
Shake it.
One thing you'll notice, there's already bees flying over to where I'm stacking these supers with honey in them. So they're gonna start coming over here looking for something, and they find honey very, very fast. Okay?
So do yellow jackets.
Yeah. One more for this box. We're down to the last box here.
Lots of brood.
Lots of brood. Nope. Look, she laid drone. Here's interesting. Queen late in the year laying drone. That's pretty rare. Pretty happy about what they got going on, that's for sure. Now we
This
know
would
where
have
all of
been
our
the
bees were. They were up in this box. Look
last
at that.
box. She's got to be up
Okay. Look at that. Okay. Another frame of brood, it looks like.
there. More drones.
You know, I think the drones were because she was so high up in the supers. And next one looks like it's honey.
Cheers, Larry.
I haven't seen her yet. I've been looking.
So in case the bees start bothering your bees, you want to have a piece of wood on around to cover up your supers as they're laying there to put them in. You notice it's a lot easier to do this if you have a little bit of help. I got it. Get it off for you. This is an old migratory lead from
There's two mites.
Two more mites.
And how many cells? A sample of what?
2, 4,
12 cells?
6, 8, 10, 15, 16.
16 cells. That shows you where mites are always at.
Yeah.
If there's brood.
Okay. That's why you don't see any of them downstairs too.
There's another one.
They went
Well,
up.
I'm sure glad we're trading.
Yep. So we're checking the drones we mentioned and the honey supers,
What do we want to
and we're finding. You can just leave it like that. They won't bother too much, but I'll come back and put some empty frames in it. Okay.
Want to shake this box
Yeah.
in there?
So we noticed that we have a few. We have a few mites in the drones, enough that you would want to treat this hive no matter what. So because the queen went up in the top super to lay, they were far from the other bees, so they kind of drifted up here. Okay.
Closing remarks?
All right. So we're gonna leave this for a few minutes, and after we're done here, I'll come in and put a couple frames in there just so they don't draw stupid comb on us. And we'll close this up. It needs 2 more frames, and we want to do that. So we'll go ahead and put our covers on it. And Ted, you got anything to comment on? It's
Personally, I would put a queen excluder underneath this western so that the queen is either up here and keeps laying and we'll find her, or she's down there and won't come back up and lay more.
Okay.
So we get the brood out of the western frames.
Good idea.
good idea. And I'll bring a queen excluder over to this hive just a little bit later after we're done here. And that's what I would do with mine. I usually bring the brood home from the bee yard, stick it on the hives at the back of the house, and let it hatch out there. And I put a queen excluder on to make sure I don't have any problems. The one thing you noticed, and Ted caught it, was we were looking at saw that brood in a place we shouldn't have seen it, and immediately noticed there was a large congregation of drones, which immediately Ted tested, and that's a smart thing to do. And we spotted where the mites are hanging out. So it's a good idea to treat this hive, and we'll probably come back when the weather is good and put formic on it also.
See everybody at tonight's meeting.
Yeah.